Hello guys, Wahoo here, back in the video. This time around we are going to talk about mods. Yes, as you can see from the fancy logo, the thumbnail, from the title, all that stuff. We are going to talk about mods in Trove, but we are not only going to talk about the mods, we are going to primarily talk about the modders behind it. So first we are going to make an interview with the modder. This time it's Cr0nicl3. You saw the name. I think it's Cr0nicl3, I think that's the name. So I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, but you can see who it is, and also linked in the description is all his mods that he has made, so go check all that stuff out. But first section is going to be a small interview with him. So it's made like where he sends me some audio clips of him answering some of the questions. So I'll be asking him the questions. I will be playing those audio clips back to you. So it's sort of like me kind of talking to him back and forth. I haven't done this format before, so bear with me. I do want to bring in more modders in the future, so I kind of want to make this sort of a series, but we'll see what happens in the future. Right now I only have one guy lined up, and that's Cr0nicl3, and you can see that's coming at you right now, right? So this is the format that you are going to see. We are going to do the interview, and then afterwards we are gonna make the end of the video is gonna be me highlighting some of the mods that he has made, and why I think they should be implemented in the game. So mostly it's about the modder, but it's also about the mods, and maybe hopefully this format will bring some attention to the modders and their mods, and that will maybe encourage, Gimigo or the Trove dev team to implement it in the game. So it doesn't have to be the ones I'm highlighting, but maybe just, shed some light on the modders and the mods, and therefore we might get them in the game, because it's very nice, of course, for PC, because we have access to all of them, but I would like to be implemented in the game, because it just makes more sense for the whole community to have all of these, and then, they won't be left out, all the, console players. So hopefully someday, maybe some of these mods are going to be implemented. I really, really hope so indeed. And maybe also you are going to learn a little bit about the modders that you wouldn't do in otherwise, interview sort of ways. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. Again, you were there to help me come up with the title. Again, check everything out in the description, and here is the interview with Cr0nicl3. So the first part of the video is going to be the interview part with Cr0nicl3. Yes, I'm gonna call him Cr0nicl3 because I'm not sure I can pronounce the whole name without butchering it. So I asked if it was okay for me to call him Cr0nicl3, and it was. So for now on, I'm just gonna call him Cr0nicl3, but you know who I'm talking about. It would also be kind of weird if you didn't, by me just using the first part, I guess, of the name. But the second part is going to be, of course, me talking about the mods you've made. But first here we are gonna do a little bit of interview style, so you get to know Cr0nicl3 a little bit better before we jump into the mods in the second part of the video. And the very first question is pretty simple, because it's just going to be him kind of explaining who he is. So I guess the question is, who are you, Cr0nicl3?
Hi, I'm Cr0nicl3, although I very much prefer just being called Cr0nicl3. I've been in this community for almost 10 years now, starting back in beta in 2015, but I didn't start into the modding aspect of the game until 2021. I'm from Spain, hence the accent. I'm sorry in advance if something is hard to understand. Professionally, I'm a software developer, which it may sound as if that helped on my ability to mod, but surprisingly, it only did in just a few instances when the implementation I was trying to achieve was too complex or needed some logic to be applied. Before this, I had no previous experience in modding a game. The closest thing to it was as a mod user, and for quite the time I could only make it to work for Trove and no other game. I would consider my way of playing the game as casual, except for when I tried to achieve as much as I could back in 2020 because of the pandemic. I never cared for leaderboards and such. In fact, the first 5 years or so of playing, I was in the mid game just running around killing stuff. Now the only thing I do is mess around with what I can do mod-wise. That being the only thing that for me is worth doing in the game at this point. And to which I actually encourage to get into, despite its current state. It's a nice way of learning something that could be useful in other areas outside the game, such as getting your creativity to flow, or learning to use it effectively. I've already reached my limit on it myself, though, and it's safe to say that I'm no longer actively modding, pretty much, but I enjoyed every second of it. I can assure that.
Super awesome indeed. And we're just gonna jump right into the second question. No diddle daddle, we are just gonna move on to the next question, and that is gonna be, what sort of mods have you made?
I'm specialized in VFX mods. Aside from a few, namely this lava UI thing I did at the beginning, all of them are entirely made on the VFX system to make either cosmetic or utility mods. Over the years I've made quite a bunch, a bit over 100, but the most popular ones would be the Bosch radar, the smart fishing pools, and the DPS display. All of them from the utility side, although if I were to pick favorites, I would go into the cosmetics category, with my Biome Environmental Overhaul, the Space Invaders minigame, and the Underwater Environment. Those were the most time-consuming, but in the end were the most satisfying to complete and see in action, each of them being technical or visual juggernauts. What I hear from people about my mods is something that is kind of bittersweet, which is that my mods, at least the ones from the utility side, make the game somewhat bearable. Some even saying that if it weren't because of them, they would have quitted the game long ago. And it is something that I am glad for, but that leaves me thinking that I'm just artificially expanding the lifespan of the game, which is not as great of a thought as it might sound. Still, it makes me happy to hear it, and it makes the trouble of doing them very much worth it. There is one of my mods inside the game, and it's something that many people actually have, which is the Sagely Saurus wings, the 8th anniversary Trove item. I made the design and the VFX themselves, while TFM Histike made the drawing that is used. It's a shame that I'm the only one credited in them though. And it's also a rare specimen since VFX mods hadn't been added since coming up to Trove, and this was just an exception.
Super great answer. Thank you so much for answering that. This is, highlighted a bunch of amazing things. Thank you so much for that answer. Next question is also gonna be pretty simple, I guess, but it could be also kind of involved. I'm not sure, but the question is, what got you into modding in the first place?
I remember that back when I used to stream on Twitch, I used to have a drone frame for my camera to stay inside. And someone in chat said that he could help me make a new UI to match with it. That I just needed to draw the parts and he could do the rest, as he had modded a bit before. Since the scary part, which was putting it all together, was going to be done by him, I agreed on it. He explained what was needed to be done and the program to use and all of that, just for me to figure out how it was going to be done and how to tackle it in designing. And well, as the curious person that I am, I started digging into the program, and with the little info I had at my disposal, I was able to build into it and made it all myself. That's how and why the Lava UI was made. Then I jumped into VFX, again following the same self-teaching method, toying with the Popcorn FX editor, reverse engineering what was done by devs, and since then the game became a sandbox for me. Since I was at the end game already, it became a way for me to get more fun out of it. For anyone interested in getting into modding, all I can say is that you just need the initial boost to get the fear out of you. That's it. Based on my experience, Trove could pretty easily be one of the most modding friendly games out there. As in, it was built around the idea of modding it, and it becomes much more enjoyable once you shape the game for your own. We have a modding channel in the Trove Discord server, where if you have a doubt on how to do something, most likely there will be someone with an explanation for you. They also have a guide on how to mod on their website, and although it is mostly focused on model making, many things apply the same for all the areas. If there is any improvement to be made in the onboarding, it would be in the sense of more specific tutorials, but I can assure that with what there is already out there and a bit of patience, you get to it faster than what you imagine.
Thank you again so much for that amazing answer to the question as well. That was super, super awesome. I really, really enjoyed that. Thank you so much for doing that answer as well, because I really feel like we learned a lot about you as a modder as well. But the last question, and maybe the also most important one, I'm not sure, but that is going to be, which of your mods would you like to see be added to the game most likely, or which one do you think should be added to the game? Like, which one is your, I wouldn't say favorite, but which one should you be added to the game? Because it could also be not your favorite mod, you maybe you actually don't want that be added to the game. I'm not sure, but basically it's just which mod would you like to see be added to the game?
If I were to pick, I'd say, and quite possibly many would agree, one of them would be the boss radar, but not in the exact way that I have it portrayed in my mod. The way I wanted to evolve the mod was so that it more so resembled this marker that some games have, where it tells you where your objective is and how far from it you are. So the idea would be to have it as a general area marker that appears when you're close enough to see the objective of the dungeon, and with that you would know where's the thing you're supposed to reach. The way in which my mod is made is too busted to be in the base game, and I'd say that everyone that has the mod knows why. I'm not a fan of it, but I can't say that I don't do the same from time to time. Another one would be my capes mod, oddly enough. The capabilities of its implementation, especially the custom variant where you can put your own design on it, gives a huge potential for easy to make new cosmetics that could look really nice, and it wouldn't feel out of place inside the game. Think of the banners that we have. It would make sense that capes could function as an alternative to them for those who prefer something less rigid, and due to how they are made, capes could choose from having a blocky aesthetic similar to banners, or be more detailed as a direct image. So it gives flexibility in the designing process.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that little interview with Cr0nicl, but now we are on Trovosaurus because we want to highlight some of these gameplay mods that he has made. As you can see, he's actually made 109 mods, but they're not all gameplay mods. There's some of them are cosmetic, as you can see, some of them are wings. I guess that's sort of a cosmetic as well, but he's made a few of them. So you should go to the description and check out the link to this page on Trovosaurus and give him some love on some of the mods that you are going to like, because we're not going to go over any of the cosmetic ones. It's going to be gameplay mods that I think should be implemented in the game. And there might also be some other gameplay mods that you think is amazing. That's why you can go to Trovosaurus and you can give themselves, I can just show you right here, you can give them, make a profile and then, like the mods, and they will of course appear more likable, right? So people will go into them, but we will highlight a few of them going over these. But if you want again to see all of the mods, you should go to the link, and you can see here he has a bunch of them, bunch of cosmetic ones, as you can see here. So we would be here for quite a while if we were going to go over every single one of them. Even this one is pretty awesome, just removing the bottom of the mods, not mods, but the portals, right? That's super amazing as well. But yeah, you should definitely check it out. It is linked in the description, but we are going to go under mostly the utility ones, because those are gameplay ones as well. So you can see there's a bunch of them, and I haven't highlighted all of them, but it's just a few of them that I think is not too overpowered either, because that's something you have to consider as well. They can't be too overpowered, and there might be mods in here you really, really like, but they might be too overpowered. There's also some that don't make, a big difference in some cases, but would just be nice to have, if you can say it like that. Some of them I feel like is super necessary in many cases, but some of them are also just like kind of a nice quality of life and should be implemented in game, but maybe some do take priority over that. And it could actually be this one right here, the Berserker, or the Berserk battle status. And if you don't know what this is, as you can see from the picture, it gives you a little indication when the Empower Cosmic Gem is active. You can't see that otherwise. You can go into it, but it's kind of awkward. You can go into, your kind of character sheet and open up, your stats and stuff, and can kind of see it sometimes because it do linger a little bit. So if you attack a monster, it should indicate it. But this actually indicates that you have it, and it's super amazing. Doesn't interfere very much. It's just a little indication. I know you can have the buffs, but they're not really working. Probably you can't really see the buff up there, and you know, it's also kind of out of the way up in the corner there. So sure, you could just look up there, wouldn't take very long. It's just not like you need to look at your character all the time in Trove. It's not like, you know, a MOBA or something like that. You have to really concentrate on your, or you know, a shooter or something like that. So you have to concentrate on your character all the time. But it's very nice that it's right there in your face, and it's kind of a big deal to, you know, have it active, and you can see you do that extra damage, and maybe you want to coordinate some stuff, you know, with a potion or something like that. So it's just super amazing, and it's not super invasive, and it could be something, again, you could have in your settings to turn on or turn on off if you have it equipped or not, of course, as well. But yeah, as you can see here, this is a little description of it, and of course there's a few, you know, a comment and also some likes on it. But this is one of them that I think is super amazing. So this should be in the game, not only for the, you know, Berserker Battler. You can actually see here that it actually replaces the, I don't know if it shows up, no it doesn't. But yeah, it's again the Empowered Gem that gives you that extra light bonus when you are going to fight and such. So keep that in mind when you do have it as well. And next up, we got the vacuum as well. So the vacuum, we got it right here, the vacuum thing that sucks up all the things. This is just a kind of a more of a nice thing to have. I don't think it should be super implemented. I think it's just a super cool idea that you can see how many crystals is around and where you should maybe use your vacuum or whatnot. So just a little thing I was thinking about. I think it's kind of cool as well. So again, you used it, that's of course in the delve or in the caves. You have that vacuum that sucks in, you know, all the materials and such. It's kind of cool to see where you should be using it and where you not should be using it. And now we got a little tool for the builders. I'm not a big builder guy, but it is kind of cool to kind of see maybe some of these building tools, a distant meter. Like this would not be very hard to implement, and it wouldn't have the biggest of implications in terms of gameplay. But yeah, I don't know. It could be something that we should be looking into or whatnot. But yeah, definitely something we could be using. I don't know, but the point is, yeah, it's kind of cool maybe for builders. I'm not a big builder, like I said, but it could be a nice little thing. And it's also a small thing, so it could be something that wouldn't be very hard to implement either. And it wouldn't like be super overpowered or anything, like, because it wouldn't be a gameplay kind of destroyer or whatever you can say it. Now we do have one of this more amazing mods, and that's of course the smart fishing pools. And if you don't know what the smart fishing pools, these are actually super amazing. Are they overpowered? No, I don't feel like they're overpowered in any sense or any, like, really at any point. I feel like they're very nice to have. Like, I think it's something should be actually put into the game. I know they do show the rare ones as well, because those are indicated with only 4, a number 4, right? Because how it works is that the 13, you can see right here, that depends on how many fish there are in the pool still. You can see there's 22 and there's 15 over there, but you can also see the rare pools with the 4. And those are kind of, yeah, it should be random on like, it's maybe a little bit too overpowered that you can find those rare pools. Even though they're still rare, you're not gonna find them, but you can, you know, bypass a lot of pools where you normally have to start fishing in them. And if you do get, you know, a rare fish in the first try, then it might be a rare pool, and you know, all that stuff with the fishing. So it is kind of a little bit OP in some cases, but I'm not sure that it is. I think it's just amazing. It just helps out so much. And yeah, sometimes a little buggy, but it do work kind of nicely. So I think this is super amazing. I think this should be absolutely in the game. You can also see it's part of 36 mod packs. People have it in their mod packs, I think it has 61 likes. Yeah, 61 likes is pretty awesome to have indeed. So super amazing. I really hope they're going to implement this one, especially. This is one of the more amazing ones as well. Then we have this one, which is also super awesome. Actually, this is where you, you know, if you don't know, I should probably kind of explain this. In the tier 15 worlds, we do have the very newest ones. We do have enemies that reflect damage, and usually in reflect damage in Trove don't really matter too much. In some cases, it can be a little bit, but these ones do really reflect amazingly. They really have the reflect turn up to 1,000,000. So if you actually start attacking some of these, sometimes you are actually going to die, and it bypasses death defying and all that stuff, as we have a few monsters that actually do, which is fine, but again, we would like to know. But you can see there is an indication, as you can see behind here. It does show up here with the purple stuff behind it, so there is an indication of when it's actually doing it, so you can actually don't need to have this mod, but this could be hard to see in some cases. So yeah, I just feel like this is a nice way of doing it. But should it be in the game? I think it should be somewhat in the game, but maybe it's already indicated enough. I don't know. It's a little bit debatable. I think it's great to have a mod as this one, and it'll also be something that could be turned on or off, or something like just a better indication of it. It doesn't have to be like this, especially this purple, I was about to say, this orange thing on top of it. Could be something different, but it is definitely something that could be nicer to see, especially if there's more monsters around as well. Then we have the monolith alarm, and the monolith alarm is that you are going to see it in the delve, as you can see right here. It's gonna give you a little exclamation mark and also an arrow when you get closer to it. That's pretty sure how it works. I haven't used this mod myself, but because I don't feel like the monoliths are that hard to see, but if you're going really fast, I feel like it's kind of nice to have, and it's just gonna be alarmed to see it. And I think there should just be, I don't know if the beam is enough, and maybe there could be something else that's kind of indicating that you are close to a monolith and you have to do it or whatever. It doesn't have to be, the arrow there. It could be just like some indication that you're close to it, maybe, or getting closer to it or something like that. That could be kind of nice. But I feel like this is a super awesome and nice idea, because I feel like some of these might be coming from when something you experience in the game and you feel like I bypass all the monoliths right in the delve, and it's just like, oh man, I have to go back, right? It could be nice that you could teleport to them if you missed one. Maybe there would be some kind of, could also be nice if they were all lined up in the boss room and they will all be green or red or something like that. And if you missed one of them, but you did bypass it, you basically activated it. So you could basically, if you got 3 of them and it's all the way in the beginning, right? That would be super annoying to run all the way back. You could just click it and teleport to that one, because you basically did go bypass. You did go by it, right? So you should be able to go by and you can see, okay, which one am I actually missing or something like that, and then teleport to it. I know it's a little OP to teleport to it or whatever, but it also just kinda is super annoying to run backwards in a delve. It's already annoying to run the whole way, kind of, in a way. So also running back is just super annoying. And some of these, if you do have this mod, well, you're probably never going to miss it again. And then we got the last one is the jump counter, and I feel like this is kind of a very nice jump counter. I was about to say jump counter. That's not what I mean. Jump counter. Probably gonna mess that up again, but it's just very nice to see how many jumps you have done and when you are going to use your wings. If you have a bunch of jumps, as you probably have this in-game player, it's not as useful, but for new players, it's definitely super amazing to see how many jumps you got left. How much should you be now kind of looking into maybe start flying, or if you are over some sort of void or anything like that, then you should maybe see, okay, I should start flying now or do something, because I am going to die if I keep jumping. I know you can just hold that fly button in, but you are going to be a while before you do that. So maybe if you want to keep that momentum and such, I just feel like it's a kind of a nice, and it could be a turn on, turn off kind of thing, right? So it doesn't have to be for everyone. And I definitely could see that it could be nice for newer players, or also for maybe some, not the PvP, I was about to say, the coin collection challenge would also be nice to see how many jumps you have already done, or whatever it could be. I just feel like it'd be a nice thing to have, not a need thing, if you know what I mean. It could just be a very nice thing to definitely a lot of nice mods that is very useful. As you can see, there's also a bunch of other wings that he's made, and they're just super amazing and very cool. Even the Trovosaurus wings actually have made it into the game. I can see that right now. So these wings you can actually get in the game if you go and get yourself the promotion. You can see there's probably a bunch of stuff here as well for the cosmetics that you maybe want to check out. Also has a mod pack, so you can just go in and get like the lava UI and the elements and also some radar stuff and whatever. So yeah, go check all that stuff out. I hope you guys enjoyed both this little showcase, I guess, of and kind of my 2 cents on the mods that I was for gameplay, and also I hope you guys again enjoyed the little interview I also had with Cr0nicl3. And again, let me know what you think about this new series or this new kind of, because I do want to bring in some more modders. I feel like people are doing some amazing jobs, and I feel like they should really be appreciated for it and should be highlighted because they do an amazing job. And also maybe I'm a little, not starstruck, but I'm just a little wowed over people that can make all this stuff, because I tried and I failed miserably, and we're not going to talk about it anymore because I didn't like that I failed so much. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is that I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys had some fun, had some amazing. Let me know in the comments. Let me know on Discord, wherever it is. Again, check out the links in the description that I've posted down there. And anything new comes up, it is going to be down there. And again, this, of course, is going to be updated. So there might be in some mods that even in the future are going to be even more amazing than the ones that we highlighted right here. But again, check it all out in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!